Imagine a world where your worst fears don't just lurk in the shadows, they're in plain sight. Welcome to the realm of the unseen terror. This chilling phantom, a supernatural entity, stalks its victims with a silent, persistent determination, feeding off the fear it so adeptly provokes. Our journey begins with the accounts of those who claim to have encountered this unseen terror. Their stories, though unique in details, all echo the same bone-chilling refrain. A presence that's felt but never seen. A dread that clings to every waking moment. A nightmare that's all too real. These individuals, ordinary in every aspect, have been singled out by this entity. They've experienced the inexplicable, the unnerving, the terrifying. Their lives, once mundane, are now marred with the scars of the unseen terror. But what happens when the unseen terror chooses you? The first encounter is always the most chilling. Imagine a quaint old house, nestled at the end of a quiet street, bathed in the soft glow of the evening sun. Its newest inhabitant, a lady of grace and charm, steps through the front door, her heart filled with anticipation and a hint of trepidation. Little did she know that she was stepping into a world beyond her wildest nightmares. The strange occurrences began subtly, a shadow darting across the room, a whisper in the silence of the night, a chill running down her spine for no apparent reason. At first, she dismissed these as mere figments of her imagination, rationalizing the inexplicable with logic and reason. But soon the frequency of these strange happenings escalated and the intensity of her fear grew. She could no longer ignore the feeling of being watched, the sense of an unseen presence lurking in the darkness. And just like that, the unseen terror had found its new target. Once chosen, there's no escape. The chilling reality of this statement starts to settle in as the haunting truly begins. A flurry of inexplicable, heart-stopping occurrences shatters the calm. Doors creak open on their own, lights flicker and dim in an eerie dance, and the chill of the unseen wraps around you like a shroud. Whispers fill the air, a cacophony of voices from a realm beyond our understanding. They echo in the silence, a haunting melody that sends icy tendrils of fear down your spine. The unseen terror, once a mere specter, now becomes a tormentor, toying with its victims, driving them to the brink of insanity. Sleep becomes a distant memory as the terror holds you captive in your waking nightmare. Each passing moment, each terrifying event is a reminder of the inescapable reality. You are chosen, you are haunted. As the terror escalates, so does the fear. Every terror leaves a trace. And when it comes to the unseen terror, it's no different. The investigation started with a keen eye and an open mind. There were no footprints, no fingerprints, but the air still echoed with a chilling presence. The investigators collected various forms of evidence, distorted photographs, recordings filled with static, and cold spots in the middle of the room, each piece of evidence more puzzling than the last. Theories began to form amidst the confusion. Some suggested it was a poltergeist, a restless spirit playing tricks on the living. Others believed it was a demon, a malevolent entity seeking to cause chaos and fear. And then there were those who thought it was a residual haunting, an echo of a tragic event replaying over and over. But no matter the theory, one question remained. But can the unseen terror be stopped? As the investigation continued, the hope for an answer seemed to wane, but the search for the truth never ended. In the face of fear, survival instincts kick in. The terror, though unseen, is palpable. It's a presence, a weight in the air, a chill down the spine. It's a desperate situation, and desperation can often be the mother of invention. Our protagonist, let's call them Alex, is caught in a seemingly endless game of cat and mouse with the unseen terror. Every shadow, every creak of the floorboard, every gust of wind is a potential threat. The very air they breathe feels heavy with dread. Yet Alex is not ready to give up. They start with the basics, barricading the doors, blocking the windows. Every possible entry point is sealed off. They even go as far as to create makeshift traps around the house. Their home is now a fortress, a safe haven against the unseen terror. But is it enough? Alex then tries to find a way to communicate with the unseen terror. They use a Ouija board, voice recorders, even try to capture it on camera. But the unseen terror is elusive, always just out of reach. Its presence felt but never seen. Then there's the desperate attempt to get help. They reach out to friends, family, experts in the paranormal. They even try to reach out to the authorities. But who would believe such a tale? And even if they did, What could they do against something they can't see, can't touch, can't fight? As the days turn into nights and the nights into days, Alex's desperation grows. They try to stay awake, fight off the sleep that leaves them vulnerable. They rely on caffeine, on adrenaline, on sheer willpower, but the human body has its limits. Through all these attempts, through all these strategies, one thing becomes painfully clear. No matter how hard Alex tries, no matter what they do, they're always one step behind. The unseen terror is always there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But the unseen terror is always one step ahead. The unseen terror waits for the perfect moment to strike. In the thick of the night, when the world is hushed and the moon is the only witness, the unseen terror seizes its opportunity. It's a moment where time seems to stand still. A moment filled with a chilling silence that blankets everything, a silence so profound that it screams. Imagine, if you will, the unsuspecting victim. The terror has chosen them not by chance, but by design. Oblivious to the impending danger, they go about their routine, their every move watched, their every breath counted. The terror is patient. It savors the anticipation, the dread that is yet to unfold. And then it strikes. There's no warning, no sign to alert the victim. It's swift and brutal. The terror, the unseen terror, manifests its power in its most terrifying form. The air grows cold, the lights flicker, and an eerie sense of dread fills the room. It's a terror that doesn't roar, but whispers, sending chills down the spine of the most courageous. The victim, now in the clutches of this unseen terror, experiences a fear that words can't describe. It's a fear that gnaws at their sanity, a fear that seeps into their very soul. It's a fear that is not of the known but of the unknown, of what lurks in the shadows, unseen and unheard. The aftermath is a scene of pure horror. The victim, shaken and terrified, is left to grapple with the reality of what has transpired. The unseen terror has struck, leaving behind a trail of fear and uncertainty. The terror has made its presence known, its menacing threat echoing in the silence of the night. In the face of the unseen terror, no one is safe. Every story has an ending, but not every ending brings closure. We find ourselves at the precipice of a mystery that refuses to be solved. The unseen terror, an entity of unimaginable fright, continues to lurk in the shadows, its true nature remaining elusive. This unresolved enigma, this unseen terror, keeps us in its chilling grip, leaving us with more questions than answers. What is this unseen terror? Is it a specter from a forgotten time, a creature born of darkness, or maybe an entity from another realm? Its presence is felt, its terror experienced, but its form remains unseen, ungrasped. Theories abound, each more unnerving than the last. Some say it's a malevolent spirit, eternally restless. Others speak of an ancient curse, doomed to repeat its cycle of horror. And then, there are the victims. The first encounter, the haunting, the desperate attempts to fight back. Every episode has left a trail of victims in its wake. Who, or what, does it choose for its next prey? Is there a pattern, a method to this unseen terror? Or is it simply a game of chance, a cruel lottery of fate? What about the investigation? Our brave souls who dared to delve into the mystery, to challenge the unseen terror. Their courage is commendable, their findings invaluable, yet the core of the mystery remains untouched. Can we ever truly understand the unseen terror? As we grapple with these lingering questions, one horrifying reality remains. The unseen terror persists. It continues to haunt, to terrify, to strike when least expected. It waits in the shadows, patient and relentless, its insidious presence a constant reminder of the fear it instills. In the end, we are left with an unresolved mystery, a terror that refuses to be seen. The unseen terror remains an enigma, its secrets locked away in the shadows. As the fear subsides, the unseen terror waits for its next victim.